today. It's the National Football League. This is Madden Football on EA Sports. We'll see Trevor Lawrence and the Jacksonville Jaguars taking on Justin Herbert and the LA Chargers.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to the Sunshine State at Everbank Stadium here in Jacksonville.
Up in the booth with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and kickoff straight ahead, CD. What's one thing that you're going to have your eye on?
I think about what the great coaches of the past always said. The key to any ball game. Can you rush theirs and protect yours? Well, in this case, both of these teams get after the quarterbacks. I'm watching the pass rush.
Cook set to start the proceedings, and we are underway here in Jacksonville. From his end zone, here's Darius Davis. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. Here are the Chargers ready to go on offense, led by their first-round pick in 2020. The man out of Oregon, Justin Herbert.
And it certainly hadn't taken Herbert long to earn his status as one of the league's best and most entertaining passers. Locked and loaded at every snap. And the second he sees an opening, that ball is soaring downfield. You better be on your toes against him on defense. The second you turn your head, they'll burn you.
They'll run. This is Gus Edwards. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
Here's a 2nd and 9 now from the 29.
Justin Herbert looking to pass.
It's taken in by Quentin Johnston.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 12 yards there. The Chargers have a first down. Herbert.
A quick throw there is incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make second down, second and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
2nd and 10. They'll run for the first time with J.K. Dobbins.
And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
The job of any linebacker involves having enough strength to fight off a blocker and get to ball carriers. But in this case, I think we can safely say he beat him right off the snap to get into the backfield and make that play.
See what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down.
Going to throw on 3rd down with Herbert.
He'll swing this out to Dobbins. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up 4th down. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
A 4th down, so the Chargers trot out J.K. Scott.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 18-yard line. 37 yards on the punt with no return. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time.
They're led by the #1 overall pick in the 2021 draft, Trevor Lawrence.
The word is potential, potential, potential. Think about this guy from the time he was in high school, one of the top prospects going to college, coming out of college, mentioned as a generational type quarterback. He looks the part. Tall, big arm, surveys the field, and can take off and run when under duress.
So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and it'll be 2nd down.
They go play action with Lawrence. A short throw there to Strange.
And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. 11 yards there for Jacksonville and a 1st down as well.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size, can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a 1st down.
Now Lawrence. That's caught by Gabriel Davis.
And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And they'll have a 2nd and 1 forthcoming.
They'll run for the first time with Travis Etienne.
And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1. An extra cornerback now in the game for the Chargers here on 3rd.
Out of the gun, it's Lawrence. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have a Jags 1st down, and comfortably so, as he gets 5 there on 3rd and a yard. Well, they kept it simple there, CD, only needing the short gain to move the chain, so they didn't want to go with a deep throw. They just go with that safer, shorter throw and able to convert.
Nothing wrong with that at all, partner. Check the box, right? Make sure you pick up the 1st down. Offense is getting established. You're moving the ball. You're not turning it over. Check, check, check. They like what they're doing early in the game.
2 1st downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10.
Etienne up the middle. And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be 2nd down.
Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this 1st quarter.
Looking to throw, Lawrence.
A short throw to Ingram. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
Well, from their point of view, this game could not be starting out much better, could it? Force a punt on defense, and now they're moving it crisply on offense.
Crisply, I like that.
Like that?
Yeah, moving it very, very well. Looks like the defense on their heels a little bit. You put a score in here, long way to go, but you're right, that's a heck of a start.
Yeah, and I think this is where the play caller is looking at his play sheet and saying, do I have that dagger play? Do I have that play and just finish them off right now? Because I think they'd love to give that big advantage early.
And trying to shake free, but Etienne cannot. The defense will stop him short.
Pretty straightforward play there by the linebacker. He saw the run, went with straight-ahead pursuit, and dumped him behind the line of scrimmage.
offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3.
And they'll try and throw for it with Lawrence.
And it's going to be batted down, and we'll go the other way with a football. The Jags come up empty on 4th down. And the Charger defense stands tall, and they get the football back. Well, it was too far for a field goal try. You don't really gain a whole lot out of a punt, so I don't think you have much of a problem with that, do you?
No, not at all. I think it's the right play, the exact right play, because even if you want to play defense and pin them deep, you know how hard it is for a punter to knock one dead inside the 10-yard line. That's not necessarily easily done. So I think going for it there was the right call.
A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
Yeah, that's a nice pickup there, especially when it comes on the heels of a 3-and-out the first time you have the ball. They were determined to not have that happen again, and that's a nice throw for their first down of the game.
Edwards now on 1st and 10. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays.
Partner, we always talk about how important 3rd down is, but I think 1st down is equally important because everything comes off of that play. If the defense wins the down, they are able to attack. If the offense wins the down, they might go faster, do other things, and change things up. That big play right there allows this offense to really get in gear.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Again, it's Edwards. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
From the 20, here's a 2nd down and 4. Herbert now. Open man, it's Palmer.
First time these two have hooked up this afternoon, and it's a 1st down.
It's a gain of 6. 1st down, Chargers.
Oh, yeah!
Out of the gun, Herbert. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
Well, that play there was certainly a scouting report special because Covered was all too aware that this close to the end zone, he's going to become a bigger weapon for that offense, and they were there to help force the incompletion.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. They'll bring a receiver in motion right.
Here's a fake on the jet sweep, and instead a give up the middle.
Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Officially nothing on that one, no gain, so they're left with still 10 to go on 3rd down. Now it's Herbert.
Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
What an excellent defensive stand there in the red zone. Nice tight coverage. They certainly recognized how important it was to bring up 4th down here.
Cameron Dicker on now to try the field goal.
From the left hash, a 31-yard attempt. And his kick is right there. It's good, and the Chargers grab themselves a 3-0 lead. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
Here's Dicker now as he'll send this one away. And he'll be stopped up at the 25.
So time to see Jacksonville again on offense for the second time here in this game.
They're coming off a fourth down gamble that last drive that backfired, CD, but really not as badly as it could. Their defense held up and only gave up 3 points.
And what they want to do is play off the momentum the defense gave them. Only giving up the 3 points in that situation after they failed on fourth down. Now they want to make it pay off. They want to pay homage to the defense and have their own drive pay off in points for themselves.
It's a gain of 35.
We always talk about the guy who paid off the play, don't we? The guy who caught it or ran it. But how about the elements that go into making a big play? This one in particular, able to scan the field, pocket held up nicely. What a terrific job by the offensive line. The route, well run, and the football, right on the money.
So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 right at the 40.
Straight ahead, Etienne.
And he stopped immediately there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. This shows you right there, he can do more than just cover in the secondary from that free safety position.
Yeah, the evolution of the position has really been significant, hasn't it? Because a lot of teams no longer have a free safety, strong safety designation. They just have safeties. So wherever the ball is, one can be close to the line of scrimmage, one can be deep, and vice versa. On that play, how about that tackle we just saw? Pretty nice.
On 2nd down, here's Lawrence.
Over the middle, he's got his tight end Ingram. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Jacksonville, and it's the Jags with the football, as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up.
They'll run with Etienne.
And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
It's been a rough go on the ground throughout the entire game, but after a run like that, they may have found the spark to get their offense kick-started.
Throwing now, Lawrence on 1st down. Getting the football to Davis on an out route.
And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville and a 1st down.
That's a pretty throw right there. That ball's in the air a long time, but it's right on the money on the right sideline. A really good route. Moving the defenders towards the middle of the field before breaking to the sideline. What a completion there. Big time.
Lawrence hit and the ball is free. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it.
We hear them discuss red zone efficiency a lot, CD, and they almost gave that one up in the red zone. Luckily, they'll have another shot.
And you and I both know that every offensive coordinator, play caller in the league, they take particular delight in their red zone calls because those are the payoff ones. But you can't call a play if your team doesn't have the ball. Got to secure it.
The fumble on 1st down now. Here's 2nd down. A shotgun snap and a give to Etienne.
And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown.
Travis Etienne.
14 yards. And the Jaguars have taken the lead.
You get in a 2nd and long situation down here in the red zone, I'd say most defensive coaches would think pass, let's bring some pressure. So this is kind of a tendency breaker here to hit him with something on the ground, and he'll take it all the way into the end zone.
Extra point attempt to come here. And this is up and good to make it 7-3. So that drive 7 plays in length.
And it was capped off by a Travis Etienne touchdown run. After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. LA readies for its next possession. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
On second down, a run with Dobbins.
And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1. CD, put on your OC cap here. What do you do? 2nd and 1, you get stuffed. Now 3rd and 1.
You know, in the old days, I would have said we're going to line up and we're going to run the same darn play and we're going to get it right. But nowadays, as tough as defenses are, I want some mobility. I want some movement, putting the ball in the hands of my quarterback and giving him a run-pass option.
Now Herbert.
And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
On 4th down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. That'll be a 41-yard punt, just 1 yard on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here.
A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due, because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
And because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
Now Lawrence to throw. On the slant, he's got Davis. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a 1st down. Now they show jet sweep, but instead a run up the middle here.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
On running plays, linemen, of course, have their assignments. That's expected. But it's not often you're expecting to see a cornerback blitzing in run support and tackling the runner for a loss.
So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on.
And they'll go again with ETN.
Not much there. Maybe a couple up to the 35.
He did have the touchdown run earlier, but not a heck of a lot more than that throughout this game.
No, not at all. In fact, I would say that this defense has done as good of a job on him as they have on any runner in recent memory. The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 11.
Now Lawrence. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted.
And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops.
And I think this is a situation where quarterback coach on the sideline is going to talk to a signal caller and say, listen, it's 3rd and long, and it's still early in the game. Let's not force things here. If we don't feel good about it, let's just check something down and punt the football.
The Chargers offense gets set. They head back onto the field.
Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3 and out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Eluding the pressure right. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5 at the Jaguars' 35-yard line.
Ball on the 35. Here comes 2nd and 5.
Back to throw here, Herbert.
He gets it to Johnston.
And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down.
Another nice play there. They've gotten down into the red zone in no time at all. That's what this offense can do when they get on a roll, and now they're set up with a 1st and 10.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18.
A give for Edwards running right. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. You told me before it's tough to identify how to block a 3-4 defense. There wasn't a whole lot of blocking there.
And one other thing an offensive line coach told me, if you want to run wide against a 3-4, which is difficult to do because of the speed of the outside linebackers, it's often difficult for your offensive linemen to hit targets in space and create lanes for your guys to run through.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Up the middle, here's Edwards. And this looks a lot like the last play. Behind the line of scrimmage, he's tackled for the 2nd straight go-around. Great job by this Jacksonville D.
Well, that play was over before it even got started. Thanks for nothing, huh? How about that? That sets up a very difficult 3rd down call now.
The last 2 plays each lose a yard. They'll try to move forward here on 3rd and 12.
They'll try to draw here with Dobbins.
And he is going to be stopped at the 12, short of the first down. He's able to chew up 8 yards on the carry there, but still 4th down upcoming.
What a luxury to have a guy like this who can not only spell your starter, but can come in and keep drives going.
Cameron Dicker on now to try the field goal.
And this one will be a 29-yard attempt. And his kick is indeed good. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6.
Well, still some climbing left to do to get back to even, but forcing a turnover and getting the field goal there, that's a small step toward erasing the early deficit.
Absolutely. That interception field goal, that's the beginning of what they hope will be several steps towards erasing that deficit and building a lead of their own by the time this game is over.
So after the touchdown, here's Dicker out to kick this one off. And he'll wisely just take a knee here, and this ball will come out to the 30-yard line. Jacksonville back on offense and ready to take over. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
Running out of the gun with ETN.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. Hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action.
Check him out. He's going to sit right over the middle. Watch the middle. 3-3.
Here now, 2nd and 4. Draw play, ETN.
And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside. And so many times defenses say, okay, we got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
And they'll throw on 1st down with Lawrence.
Chargers able to get the pressure and bring him down.
Poona Ford, the one to get to him and drop him. He found his way into the backfield, and he simply would not be denied.
Well, they say that life's all about opportunities, and that holds true when you're playing defense as well. How about him seeing that chance, making the most of it, did a great job of wrapping him up and bringing him down.
They'll come up after the sack on a 2nd and 12.
From the shotgun, Lawrence. A short throw to Ingram.
And he's brought to the ground with another 1st down at the Chargers' 26. Now a timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
On 1st and 10, it's Lawrence.
And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
It sort of looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
Now a 2nd and 10. Lawrence.
And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
Well, every point certainly counts at this stage of the game, but after driving so far, you absolutely know they want to finish it with 6 instead of 3.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10.
Throwing again here. It's Lawrence. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1.
Here's Lawrence.
And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down. Nothing on 1st down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line. 2nd and goal.
Again, it's Lawrence.
Got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars.
Gabriel Davis from 8 yards out. And the Jaguars will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. So, Charles, they had him double covered in the end zone. It still was not enough.
I wonder if they're thinking to themselves now, 2 didn't work. Do we go for 3 guys on him next time? Because he fought through all that extra attention, got himself into a great position where his quarterback felt confident enough to challenge the coverage and threw it his way. What a big-time play right there, both by the quarterback trusting him and by him going up and getting it.
Extra point safely through, and the lead is up to 8. A 10-play drive that time.
And it ends with a touchdown pass to Gabriel Davis. After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Chargers going to take over now late in this first half. A slim deficit here in a 1-possession game. Not much time left, obviously. We'll see if they can march this down the field, at least get 3 and take some momentum into the locker room. On 1st down, it's Herbert. Short throw underneath to Hurst. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. Play action this time for Justin Herbert. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down. And Quentin Johnston was the intended target, and that'll bring up 2nd down. From the shotgun, here's Herbert. He'll check this down to Dobbins out of the backfield. Now the Chargers will use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Herbert on 1st down now. A swing pass here to Edwards.
Chargers going to use their third and final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1.
Here's a 2nd and 8.
Here's Herbert. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now.
Quentin Johnston was the intended target.
And now it's 3rd down.
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down.
Again, Herbert.
He'll dump this off complete to Dobbins.
And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. This will be spotted just shy of midfield, a 59-yard attempt. And this is off target to the left, didn't get there anyway. It's no good. So we hit the halftime break here in Jacksonville with the Jags on top. As we now go downstate to Orlando and check in with Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, back to you guys in just a moment, but welcome everyone to our Creative Village studios in the EA Sports Halftime Report. One of the top performers in that first half was the running back Travis Etienne. He wound up finding the end zone on a touchdown run to help give his guys the advantage here at the break.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. Jaguars in possession of the lead, and they will get the football as we are underway in this second half.
On the return is Duvernay. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Now, hang on here a second. Looks like a Jaguar in some obvious discomfort from that last play. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. And I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation to pick up those pass rushers, because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21.
Lawrence will throw.
Completes it to Evan Ingram. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. 22 yards there, a first down.
Nice job there of utilizing his big target. He didn't overthink it. Understands the catch radius, understands that he knows how to use his body to keep defenders away from the ball, and puts it right out there for the nice pickup.
On first down, Lawrence.
This one complete to Christian Kirk. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. He was held without a catch in the first half, but he's got one here, and he also picks up a first down. Defensively, they just lost him. He was waving his arms saying, I'm wide open. They found him.
Yeah, and it's so interesting about when a receiver starts to wave his arms because some guys run up the line of scrimmage, they declare themselves open. You know, those guys throw the one arm up, hit me right now. In this case, he was so wide open that he was frantically trying to get his attention to make sure he got the football, and then I'm sure his only thought when the ball was in the air, don't drop it. Had too much time to think.
On first and 10, it's ETN.
And he'll work this forward for about 3 at second down.
From the 41, here's second down and 7. From the gun, it's Lawrence.
A short throw to Ingram. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
They really love to get him into one-on-one opportunities, and this is one way. Work him out of the slot and create a mismatch. Who's going to cover him? Corner, safety, linebacker? He's got a way to beat all of those positions.
On third down, here's ETN.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. A strong 8 yards will keep this drive rolling.
Brandon, I think you and I were both raised the same way in the game of football. You run to set up the pass, but I think we've discovered in this NFL, a lot of teams pass to set up the run. And that's what they've done throughout this game. They've aired it out, thrown it around the yard. Now they've come back to the running game, and they find a way to be successful with it.
Now Lawrence on first down.
A short throw to Ingram. So the completion good for just 3. And it'll be second down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Second and 7. Now Lawrence. He targets Ingram for another grab.
A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. They'll break the huddle and come up on the 9th play of this drive, needing 5 yards on third down.
Here's Lawrence to throw. He's got his target. That's complete. And he will have a Jaguars first down. They needed 5 there on third down. He winds up getting 7.
Pretty heavy traffic over the middle on that one, and somehow he emerged with the football. Way to possess it despite all the extra contact and people around him.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's first and 10. Lawrence, now this is ETN on the draw.
And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up second and 5.
Another tote for ETN.
And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville.
Travis Etienne.
His second touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Jaguars take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
The extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is up to 15 now. A pretty long drive that time, 11 plays all told.
And it was capped off by a Travis Etienne touchdown run. After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away.
Returnable here for Davis.
A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32.
Now we'll look at the Chargers offense. They get ready for their first possession of the second half.
They make their second half debut here, and things are looking a little bit tougher now. You give up the points there, Charles, that touchdown drive on the other side. So now it's a 2-score game here. Got to be careful.
They certainly do, and I'm just wondering at half.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. It's Devin Lloyd with a pick.
And this one will be brought back to the 22. That throw, Charles, over the middle of the field, and a few too many bodies in there got picked.
That's a normal situation, too, isn't it? No matter how hard you try and spread the field sometimes, there's always going to be a traffic jam, it feels like, towards the middle. And if there's any type of a missed throw or maybe the ball's tipped or just too many bodies in the area, an interception can result.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Well, they certainly knew their challenge as this series began, and they got to stop on play number 1. Goal now, get 2 more stops and limit the damage to a field goal.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw again, Lawrence. He gets it to Thomas. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. First target, first catch, and a first down.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Lawrence.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville.
Gabriel Davis
with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Jaguars take a 3-touchdown lead. So they're able to capitalize there on the short field, and that might prove to be the score that turns out the lights.
The party's over. Oh, sorry about that. That's an old reference there, folks. But, yeah, they've been the better of the 2 teams by far, and that's great complimentary football right there. Defense gets the turnover, sets up the short field, and the offense goes right out and scores to open up a pretty sizable lead.
Extra point forthcoming. He's got it, and the lead swells. It's 28-6. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive.
And it ends with a touchdown pass to Gabriel Davis. After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. LA set to take over again on offense. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, It has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Another attempt, another incompletion, and when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long gain or make people miss downfield. They've got to have points, and the guys who can put the ball in the end zone, they're the ones that need to touch the ball.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. A shotgun snap for Herbert. Over the middle, complete. It's Johnston. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
And the Chargers first down.
Herbert setting up to throw on 1st down. That'll be caught by Rice. It'll go as a gain of 4, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6 at the 47-yard line.
Herbert throwing again. Throw over the middle, and it's caught by Johnston.
5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a 1st down.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down. Executed it to perfection. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Here's Herbert. His throw incomplete.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here in this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on 1st down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. They'll fake the handoff. Now Herbert. And his throw here's incomplete. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
Here comes the 7th play now of this drive as this is 3rd and 10. Herbert back to the air.
Pass taken in by his big tight end.
And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 22-yard line. The Chargers passing game rolling a bit here. They've got another 1st.
For a tight end, he's got good straight line speed, and on that route, he's often the guy that gets overlooked. Nice job there finding him in stride for really good yardage.
Up the middle, it's Edwards. And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards. 2nd down.
That ground game contained again there, Charles, and that's really a big reason that they're trailing right now.
They give a lot of credit to that defensive front. That's exactly what they worked for all week, to try and take away the run game, make them one-dimensional. In the battle of game plans, theirs has been superior.
A give up the middle to Dobbins.
And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down. Justin Herbert looking to pass. That is caught. Touchdown, Chargers. Quentin Johnston, an 18-yard touchdown grab.
And the Chargers are able to cut into this deficit here in the final minute of the third.
Okay, the highlights are going to show the guy throwing it, the guy catching it, and ended up in the end zone. But how about those big guys up front that allowed that to happen? He had a ton of time to throw the ball.
He did. There's two sides to that coin, though. The O-line was great. D-line not very good.
And as well as coverage, because now you're really stuck in a bad spot. That much time to throw the ball, someone usually comes free.
Herbert and the Chargers staying put. They'll line up and go for two.
They'll try and run it up the middle. And he's going to get in for the score. And the lead now cut to 14. Only had a couple of yards to gain there on the two-point conversion, and they were able to do it.
And how many teams shy away from running the football in the two-point conversion? They treat 2 yards as if it were 20. If you're a good team running the ball, go to your strength. Go ahead and push it into the end zone.
Yeah, they did. It worked.
Now after the Dicker field goal, he's back out ready to send it away. And the returner down to a knee, and this will come out to the 30-yard line.
Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set to go again.
Their lead down from 21 to 14, but still sitting at a great spot, up 2 scores here in the third quarter. Lawrence bringing the Jaguars up, 1st and 10.
At their own 25-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And completes it to Kirk over the middle. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. A 14-yard gain there as they look to improve this 14-point lead. Going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Looking to throw, Lawrence.
This one caught by Davis. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. The Jags picking up the first down there, a gain of 12.
Well, normally you might say start running the football. You've got the lead here in the fourth quarter, but the way that they've passed it with such success, I don't know, maybe keep throwing it.
Yeah, I think you brought up something that goes against conventional wisdom, right? In this stage of the game, you would think you would switch to a running attack, but you're exactly right. They've thrown it so well throughout the game, and trusting this quarterback, I think you continue to do so.
Meanwhile, Lawrence's throw here taken in by Ingram.
And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
The passing game continues to be their friend. Even with a stable lead here in the fourth, Charles, they're going back to that well.
Yeah, with their overall philosophy, you know that they trust their quarterback. He's been able to throw it well. They continue to throw these safe passes. Who can blame them?
To throw again is Lawrence.
Open man is Kirk, complete. And that's good for a gain of 6, and it's 2nd down. So a decent gain there, but not their 4th consecutive first down like they had on the first 3 plays.
You sound almost disappointed there. You want to fire the offensive coordinator on that one or what?
They'd gotten into a rhythm. I thought they were just going to keep going.
Yeah, almost a win for the defense, but if that's your win, you're not doing very well right now.
On 2nd down, a run with Etienne.
And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front seven, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
On first down, right back to ETN. Pushing through the contact. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. So that flag obviously takes away the good yardage that they had on the play.
And talk about a momentum shift, because we can visibly see this celebration shifting from one side of the field to the other as soon as everyone saw the flag.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And he is going to lose yardage here. The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
A lot of ground to cover. 2nd and 22. Now Lawrence finds his tight end Ingram. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. Now Lawrence to throw. That's going to be caught by Kirk. And he's going to be stopped well short of what he needed as the tackle is made at the 18-yard line. So the completion good for 7 there. And that'll bring up 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the 2nd half. And his kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So that almost certainly the final piece to this puzzle, a 3-score lead. I don't think there's any coming back from there.
Well, you know, normally I'd get on you for giving up on the game right here, but I do think you're right in this case. This late in the game, 2 scores is tough enough. 3, I'm with you. That seems out of the question.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And no thought of bringing this one out. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll begin the drive at the 30. The offense for Los Angeles returns to the field. And the complexion of this one has really changed a fair amount. That last field goal makes it a 3-score game, so they need points in a hurry with time dwindling in the 4th quarter. Herbert going to lead up the Chargers here, 1st and 10
at their 25-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air.
Open man, it's Palmer.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Solid way to start the drive, 13 yards, picking up the 1st.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
On 1st down, Justin Herbert. The throw here right sideline falls incomplete. Quentin Johnston was the intended target.
That'll bring up 2nd down.
Herbert now. Short throw underneath to Hurst. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. You got the big lead defensively.
willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
The offense on third down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 9.
That ball caught by the rookie from Georgia. And he is going to have the Chargers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the 4th. But a nice first down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution. Even though the scoreboard is going against you, you want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play.
So in Jacksonville territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Herbert escaping the pressure right. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42.
So tug on the face mask, and that's going to cost him 15 yards.
And sometimes it'll go unnoticed, but that one, pretty obvious for everyone to see.
So a big penalty there on the face mask leads to 1st and 10. Now it's Herbert. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now after getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
2nd and 10 now from the 27. To the air again, Herbert.
Complete to Johnston here.
And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. That'll put him right at 99 yards receiving now as he's got a first down.
16 yards. First down, Chargers.
Back to throw here, Herbert.
He'll swing this out to Dobbins.
Touchdown!
J.K. Dobbins.
An 11-yard touchdown.
And the Chargers have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. So a little bit of a letdown there defensively. I mean, look, you're still 2 scores to the good, CD, but things may be a little more uncomfortable than they had hoped.
Yeah, if you'd kept him out of the end zone there, this game's over. You've locked the door on him. Instead, it's still open a little bit, and they've got a puncher's chance.
For the extra point, Cameron Dicker.
And the lead is trimmed down to 10. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it ends with the Chargers getting into the end zone. Two scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the Jaguars are going to cover this one up. And out timeout. Now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go.
If they can score here, they have a chance to make this a 3-possession game and all but put things to bed. And they'll throw on first down with Lawrence.
And Davis has it over the middle. And he's taken down inside the 30. The Jags picking up the first down there, a gain of 12.
But when you're up by 2 scores in the fourth quarter and you're going to throw the football, expect to see a lot of man coverage, because usually what comes along with man coverage is pressure. So if you're a play caller and you want to keep throwing the football, that's fine. Just make sure your offensive line understands they're going to get additional guys running at the quarterback.
On first and 10, it's Lawrence. Right back to...
Oh, no, he lost the football. And picked up by the Chargers. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line.
Partner, that one looked like it was over. I mean, they had control, had the football, and the defense had to make a play in order to keep them in the game. That's exactly what they did.
And now that door ajar, 2-score game. So hold on here, not done in the fourth.
Herbert and the Chargers now with a first and 10.
At their own 21. He'll look to throw. Throwing the out route and complete. It's Palmer. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Nice way to start the drive. A gain of 12 and a first down. A good start there on this fourth quarter drive. They need more of what we just saw.
Down a couple of scores. There's still time, all right? It's not like, they're totally out of it, but they have to score quickly, and they're going to need some big-time plays, chunk plays, explosive plays. They need yardage on each snap.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
They'll try again here. Second and 10.
Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Johnston.
Complete to Brendan Johnston. It's a gain of
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. They face a third down now as they try to find a late score. Again, Herbert. Now a leaping catch. He's got it. And he'll be touchdown here, but not before he does pick up the first.
Well, from an offense's perspective, that sure was pretty, because the corner route, it's extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is, because more and more, tight ends are being treated like wide receivers. These are some agile players who can make a play in any spot on the field. I think as he began this throw, you saw that the area was congested, but he has a lot of confidence in his arm, and he fits that one in there nicely. They pick up the catch, not much yardage afterwards.
Now second and 4. Herbert. Pass out left finds Johnston.
Brandon, just marked that under the category of just not successful. Trying to throw the ball, just didn't work on that one.
Completed it. No yardage.
Well, this crowd doing their best to make a lot of racket. It's 3rd and 5. Herbert.
And he knocks the ball away and it falls incomplete.
Give him big credit for his coverage right there, because when he saw the route break deep, he stayed in position to prevent a completion while avoiding any risk of a flag.
So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. This to get it back to a 1-score game. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And this is back down to a 7-point game.
Well, certainly happy they were able to force the fumble, Charles, but wish they would have gotten in the end zone, only getting 3 points there and still facing this second half deficit.
And they also will understand it's going to be a whole lot tougher to force another turnover the rest of the game, because that offense, they're going to be all about ball security from here on out.
So with just under 40 seconds to go, you figure this is going to need to bounce their way if they have any shot. And this is going to be recovered by the Jaguars. And that should just about do it. The Jaguars offense now heads back onto the field. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go in the game.
Here's a 2nd and 5. He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball.
Now the Chargers will use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play.
This now a 3rd and 4. ETN once more. And he will have a Jaguars first down, and that ought to be the one that seals the victory. Lawrence to a knee, and that will write a finish to this one.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road, but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
We all just got a heck of a show, partner. This was a close game for a long time. Close at half, close down the stretch. Home team finds a way to get it done, a narrow victory.
Yeah, they finished with a flourish, didn't they? Because there were times where each side looked like they were the better team out there. And the outcome's in doubt for much of this game. Every snap seemingly more important than the previous one. Great effort from the guys visiting. But in the end, how about those guys in their home stadium finding a way to win?
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. The Jaguars are winners here as we say so long from Jacksonville.